All right, guys, let's talk about the Zodiac Sea Wolf 53. And before I get started, a couple things. One, big thanks to Nick over at Exquisite Timepieces for sending this and a few other watches over. So I'll put a link to the website. That's who this watch was provided by for this video. And then it'll go back to him. So the other thing I want to talk about, if you don't know about Zodiac, or maybe you just really haven't given them much attention, and you're shopping in or around the $1,000 price point, you should probably take a look at the Zodiac lineup. They have not only the Sea Wolf collection, which is probably my personal favorite, but I also haven't taken a look at all of their watches. But for around the $1,000 price point, they have quite the watch indeed. Now I'm going to leave a lot of the plastic on this because this is a brand new watch and it's not my watch. But let's get into some of the specs and size and all that good stuff. So, measuring at the bezel up top, what you actually see when you look down, I measure at 40.5 millimeter, although the case you can see is a little more trim at 39 millimeter. So, it's going to look like a 40.5, wear like a 39, because that's what it is. The lug to lug, nice thin case. You can see the angular lugs that come down, kind of like a Zen 104 style. Something like that if you're used to that watch as well. Lug to lug is 48.75 millimeter. So these are some good measurements here, and you can obviously see that the Jubilee bracelet, not only does it not extend the lug to lug, but it actually falls short of it. So you're going to have plenty of comfort there, and their bracelets are awesome. So thickness 13.5, double domed sapphire crystal, slightly boxed above the bezel insert on this. The bezel insert on this one is actually a mineral crystal insert. It's not a sapphire. I found that kind of weird, but sapphire crystal and then a mineral insert. So we'll do some close-ups. Maybe they just wanted to get a different effect on the curvature of it or something. I don't know. And 20 millimeter lug width here, so it would look great on some leather or different straps. Why you would take it off this seriously really well done Jubilee bracelet would boggle my mind, because I would live on this bracelet. So starts at 20. This bracelet tapers down to 15.75. Yes, it does have a butterfly clasp. However, check out this trick. On both sides, so when it's clasped, it's closed. Genius. Absolutely genius. 6.5 millimeter screw down crown, 200 meter water resist, 120 click bezel. A little bit of play in this one, but it's nice and consistent across the range, and it's very audible. There you go. And it lines up. So let's take a closer look at the dial. Obviously the watch case is black. It also has a textured black dial with minimal script, Sea Wolf automatic, Swiss made at the bottom, hello peekaboo, Zodiac printed on there, and applied logo up there. You can see the nice applied indices and that exclusive Zodiac Sea Wolf handset, fully polished, skeletonized with large real estate for lume outside, and then that powder blue printing on the bottom matches the powder blue seconds hand with an oversized arrow loomed tip. So super legible in all different kind of light, because those indices, for the most part, most of them are fully polished with a little bit of lume on the outside, with the exception of the 12, 3, 6, and 9. You'll also notice this is a no date variant. Balances out really nice. Here's a close-up of the case back if you're interested. Zodiac 1882. Yes, there's a lot of history with Zodiac. They're an older brand. They have a lot of very cool watches, and I'm sure they'll be doing a lot more. Again, this bracelet, guys, seriously, is a very good bracelet. Looks like it might be pin and collar. I didn't size this, so if you know, if you have one of these and you know, down in the comments, chime in. But to me, it looks like a pin and collar or a split pin. It's hard to tell. I'll find out and I'll put it in the description because I can't tell just with the naked eye behind the camera here. We'll do a loom shot here in a moment. We'll do a wrist shot in a moment, but I want to talk about the movement real quick because Zodiac is owned by the Fossil Group. Fossil Group owns the STP movement series. This one, as far as I can tell, is using a movement that I have not been exposed to. It's called the STP3-13. Typically, you would have the STP1-11. That's the one that's used in a ton of watches. Well, this one's, from what I understand, is the STP3-13. What's different? Well, it has a thinner, longer mainspring for a 44-hour power reserve. It has an extra jewel over the other STP models. And this is where it gets interesting. It has a swan neck regulator. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. Google it, I guess. I don't know. Because typically the way you regulate a watch movement is very precise, but the arm can move more than you intended it to move, if that makes sense. If you've ever played around with one. With a swan neck, kind of swoops it out a little bit and gives you a different leverage point, and it's a much finer adjustment. It's much cleaner. And then if there's any people in the comments that want to chime in and school me even on some other added benefits of the swan neck regulator, do it, because I don't know everything. That is 100% for sure. I never claimed to. All right, so let me struggle with this butterfly clasp here. We'll get that on wrist. This is not a super heavy watch either. So it's nice and comfortable. So if you, whatever your wrist size, and you're just looking for a nice stainless steel, comfortable watch, this Zodiac is extremely comfortable with that beautiful Jubilee tapered bracelet. And this is, again, from what I understand, this is all DLC. So it's going to have a nice, durable, tough coating on it. DLC, diamond light coating, in case you didn't know. So there it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. I don't have a full black watch other than a G-Shock. So it's always nice to see a full blacked out automatic watch. So here's the hang tag if you're interested in seeing that. Price point on this one is $1,395. Probably going to get some sort of a discount. I think the model number is a Z0 or Z0. I think it's Z09276. But email Nick at Exquisite. I'm sure he can hook you up. Let's kill the lights. Check the loom. There you go. Looks like a nice application of BGW9. Brilliant white in the daytime, and then a nice cool blue when the lights go out. Super legible, easy to orientate. You guys shouldn't have a problem reading this day or night. All right, if you have any questions, comments, you know where to put them. I'll see you on the next vid.